Welcome back to Boston is Enter the Chat. We got a Monday night double header tonight. Buccaneers versus Texans at 7. Chargers versus Raiders at 10. Good quarterback matchups. I mean, it's Baker versus CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert against Geno Smith. And as you saw last week, no more stank on Geno Smith's name. Yep. I'm excited for tonight's matchups. Let's start between the Buccaneers and the Texans in this one.
Can we also just thank the NFL for doing this right?
Staggering them. Yes. Not a 7 o'clock and then 8 o'clock kickoff.
2-3 times last year we had those double headers where it was, one would start a half hour late.
Right.
So
and then you're like flipping between two channels.
What am I doing here? I can't red zone this.
Also an East Coast team and a Central time zone team.
Right.
And then the West Coast teams kick them off at 10.
7-10. Perfect.
I also love the 7 o'clock kickoff too.
Yes.
Because showing my age here, I'm just 31.
Yeah.
8:20, 8:15 kickoffs, too late for me.
Right.
It's 7 o'clock. Let's keep this going. We're going to see it. All right, so now let's get to game one, which kicks off at 7, which we both love. Buccaneers against the Texans. Bucs 1-0, Texans 0-1.
Yeah.
This is an interesting matchup where we see a Houston team down their starting center for an offensive line is C.J. Stroud trying to find their footing. New play caller, Nick Caley, his second game there. Offense did not look right in week 1. This is a good Todd Bowles defense led in Tampa. And it's Baker Mayfield with no Tristan Wirfs still against a really good Houston pass rush. This game's intriguing because it's two defensive-minded head coaches, two talented quarterbacks. I'd take Baker over CJ. I think this one's going to be tight, Adam, and I think it's because of the defenses and how banged up these offenses are.
Yeah, I think the spread indicates as much, right? You're looking at the Bucs, the road team, as 2.5-point dogs in this one. I think there are, a lot of elements to this. Obviously, you mentioned the defense, and I think that's particularly important for C.J. Stroud in that there's no Laramie Tunsil. He doesn't have, obviously, great protection in front of him. It's already an offense that's a little bit limited. I do expect a bounce back out of both Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. Both these guys have a favorable matchup in that the Bucs kind of struggle against wide receivers, kind of struggle against tight ends. I don't think they're going to get much of anything going in the run game, however. But, with the blitz-heavy Todd Bowles defense, Stroud's going to be under pressure constantly. He's going to take sacks. He's going to take hits. He's going to be forced into some mistakes. Whether that leads to a turnover, we'll see. I just think the value, ultimately, and we talk about that in betting all the time, I think the value in this game is on the dog. It's on Tampa because, to your point, I trust Baker Mayfield more than I trust C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud had a solid rookie year, really regressed as a sophomore, and didn't really do anything against the Rams in the first game this year. So he's got to build back up people's confidence who want to trust him. I know what Baker Mayfield, generally speaking, is going to give me at this point in his career. I love Mike Evans, so long as he stays healthy. He is right now. Emeka Egbuka, who is just electric as a rookie, is a ton of fun to watch.
Ohio State wide receiver. Drop him into the league and watch him produce from day one.
Wait until obviously they get Chris Godwin. I know that's not happening tonight, but this offense is going to continue to improve as the season moves along and kind of finding their way post Liam Cohen as well. Yeah. There's an element of that, but I like the Bucs to win this game. I would take them on the money line.
Same.
I wouldn't even necessarily mess around with the points. Maybe if you were getting 3.5, you say, okay,
once it gets under a field goal, you're like, what's the value there?
You're beyond a key number at that point. So, then you're rooting for some kind of
21-20 win.
Yeah, some weird scoring in there where it's not kind of back and forth. I'm just not going to bother. Like, give me the plus money. Give me the value on the dog. It's how I felt last night about Atlanta. Screw the points. Yeah. I want the Falcons on the money line. Yeah. That was a relatively easy win against the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, largely unproven so far still. I like this spot for Tampa on the road to, go out here and, it's an important game for them as well.
It's even where if Tampa was at home, it would swing to them being as a favorite. I feel like that underdog number is just because they're in Houston. Sure. It's a faith in the coaching staff, and I don't have the most faith in Todd Bowles. I was on the ship of, after the season, just fire him and elevate Liam Cohen and keep him with Baker. But even his new OC, once again, and Gizzard, is doing a good job. It's just Baker Mayfield, how efficient he is. It's still Mike Evans as his number one. We saw that instant chemistry with him and Emeka Egbuka, a guy that team was bragging about since training camp kicked off. It's his offense staying on track. Baker, Bucky Irving, Egbuka, and Mike Evans. The offensive line's banged up, but I trust how this Buccaneers team can adapt to their offensive shortcomings to find ways to win. Nick Caley, I don't have the most faith in him as an offensive play caller. He was with the Patriots. He went to Las Vegas. Now he's attached to Sean McVay, but he wasn't calling plays there.
Right.
And he gets elevated to this OC role here. That's something where DeMeco Ryans, as a good head coach, good defensive mind, needs to grow and get better when it comes to his hiring practices. We've seen Matt LaFleur deal with those issues when it came to his DCs, and he's finally got it right up in Green Bay this season. That's where I just think of how the coaching staffs are constructed, and I'm going to pick the quarterback in this one. I'm with you. Before you said that number, I was going to take the Buccaneers. Now it feels even better because you can make some money off of them.